may be cold and blustery outside, but things are heating up inside the Carrier Dome here at Syracuse for this Class B state title between the Chenango Forks Blue Devils at 12-0, ranked #1 in the state, against the 11-1 Huskies from Harrison High School, ranked #2 in the state. Hi, everybody. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown, and we are here on the field at the Carrier Dome. And, Don, this is going to be a great ball game for both teams, but let's talk about Chenango Forks first. They came in here last year and lost a tough championship game, and now they're back.
Kelsey Green's Blue Devils, Jim, they come in smarting from last year's 14-7 title loss, but they've circled December 1st on their calendar, and now they're back playing for the Class B state championship. They
got some great players offensively. Let's talk about the running backs. We're going to talk about Harrison's great running back, but on this side, the Blue Devils got one of their own.
Kelsey Jenks, a two-way threat, 229 pounds. He can get it done between the tackles. He can beat you with speed on the outside as well. Outstanding back.
Harrison's defense did a great job last week in Kingston, stopping 3 1,000-yard-plus runners, but they have a great runner of their own. Talk about what the Harrison Huskies bring into this game with a kid who can really run the football.
Rudy Arcara, over 200 yards rushing last week, Jim. He got it done. He's going to need to do that again. A similar effort today against a very solid Chenango Forks defense.
All right, before we go to the kickoff, you got to talk about the atmosphere here in the Dome. Obviously, for some of these kids, a last chance at glory in playing in high school in this big stadium. How do you think they're feeling right now back in the locker room and warming up on the field?
Oh, definitely. Just like you said, they're not going to get a chance to play. A lot of these kids aren't going to play Division I ball. You got the bright lights, the Carrier Dome. It's snowing outside, but the action's heating up inside right here, Jim.
Well, it should be a great Class B title game between the Huskies of Harrison, and Chenango Forks brings their Blue Devils here to try to win a state title for the second year in a row. Come on back for the kickoff right after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse, the Class B 2002 New York State Championship between Harrison and Chenango Forks is being brought to you by MJM Productions and the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. Jim Campion, Don Brown, we're up here in the booth now. And Don, obviously, before this game, we talked about it on the field, what Chenango Forks is going through right now, having been here last year and have to come back again and try to climb that mountain. You start in August, you battle through September, things get tight in October. You got a bullet on your back, as the coaches like to say, when you're coming back as a #1 ranked team. And then you come to this football game today, and you are 48 minutes away from a title.
Yes, it's a big mountain to climb, but after last year's title game loss, Jim, it was a tough loss to Peru in the title game.
Tight game, right?
They lost 14-7, so they've had a bitter taste in their mouth in the offseason. As you said, December 1st, they've been pointing towards this game all season.
Chenango Forks had to beat Solvay. They are the fourth. They were in Section 4. They had to beat Solvay of Section 3, and then Bath of Section 6 to get here. The Harrison Huskies beat New Paltz in Section 9, and then Lansingburg, who beat Peru, last year's League B champions. Lansingburg had 3 1,000-yard rushers done last week in Kingston, and they were all shut down by this Harrison defense. Harrison felt that they were not recognized as a top team. Well, they come in here #2 to Chenango's #1, so they're recognized.
Yes, they've got nothing to lose today. They're playing against a team that they're supposed to lose to, and their defense is up for the challenge. Now, on the other side of the ball, Rudy Arcara. He came in last week, 200 yards plus rushing. He's going to need a similar big effort today.
Captains are at the title in the center of the field. As we are here getting the coin flick before this title game here at the Carrier Dome. Great crowd for Chenango Forks right below us. Good crowd for Harrison. Harrison wins the toss, but they elect to kick off. They'll defer it, which means Chenango Forks will get it. The Blue Devils in their blue with red helmets, and the Harrison Huskies in white jerseys with their maroon pants and maroon helmets from Section 1. Harrison down in the Westchester area, and Chenango Forks not far from here, Binghamton, about an hour and a half ride.
About an hour south. They brought the lion's share of fans for today's game, Jim. I'd say about 5,000 loyal fans here made the trek up through snowy conditions this morning.
And not really a home game. Yesterday we saw a couple of teams from right down the block. Onondaga, this is Onondaga County. They won their football game in C, and then the other team that came in here yesterday was also, right. They're very close. They were about a couple of exits right down on 81. But yet Harrison, with a much more of a longer trek, they came in last night They said that they were very relaxed. You talked to some of the coaches before the game. Both teams feel that it's hard to read the kids, but they're excited. But you know, they're ready for this big game.
This is the bright lights of the Carrier Dome, Jim, and this is what it's all about. The Class B state championship. We're just about ready for kickoff.
Head coach Kelsey Green for Chenango Forks. Assistant coaches Dave Chickanowski, John Petley, Dave Hogan. The athletic director is Rich Perkins. Art Troilo Jr. is the head coach of the Huskies from Harrison. Athletic director is Mike Gansell. And they are from Section 1, as I mentioned. Could not beat Rye for the last few years, but they finally got over the hump. Rye, a perennial team from Section 1. And Chenango Forks, well, they couldn't get through Peru last year, but they are 48 minutes from a title that they've been looking forward to now for 12 months. No bigger game for both these football teams, and we are about to begin. Here we go. And there's the boot from number 3, Hannon, and it's taken there at about the 10-yard line by Barabado. Over the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that is where Chenango Forks will take over. We'll give you the Blue Devils offense. As Don mentioned here, Matt Juriga has had a great season. 3 touchdown passes in the semifinal game yesterday. Kelsey Jenks, the big running back. Nick Barabado is also running back. Fullback is Steve Travavich. Tim Green is the split end. Tight end is Matt Blackman. The other tight end, Zach Tarnowski. He'll get a lot of time. Up front, Juan Mendoza, Steve Blackman, Jake Fritsch, Mike Bunker, Steve Bronson, Jake Vanderberg, and Jesse Smith and Bill Moore will see some time at split end as well. And here they go for their first play of this 2002 championship game. It's a pitch back and a great defensive play getting in the background there by Rogliano, number 21. We'll give you the defense for Harrison in just a moment. Pitch back was to Drew Batty, and he loses a couple on the play.
If we take a look here, he had tremendous pursuit, big loss on the play. Loss of about 4 yards.
Excellent pursuit, as Don mentioned. And now defensively, Rudy Alcara, Kyle Hannon, Steve Burton, Rick Alvarado, Luigi Rogliano, who made that big play there, Angelo Del Borgo, Jason Calabera, Nick Pinella, Andrew Weiniger, and Jeff Calabro for the Harrison Huskies. Over the right side, looks like Jenka now, trying to get some of those yards back, Don.
Yeah, the big fullback, Kelsey Jenks, potential state player of the year for Class B, Jim. He can get it done between the tackles, and right there, got a couple of yards.
Yes, and he could bounce it outside for big gains as well. This team has run on the backs of their quarterback and their backfield, as both teams do when they play this well. Both defenses, we haven't mentioned too much about them. Obviously, strong defenses to get this far. Harrison shutting down some big backs last week for Lansingburg. Early big third down for Doringa now. 3rd and about 8. Doringa to the left side in the flat. He's got a man. Drew to the 45 to the 46-yard line. Drew Batty for the first down, a gain of about 18.
Very nice throw by Juriga there. Batty got open on the lower side there. Key first down to open up this game.
First series of the ball game for the Blue Devils. This is where all those butterflies start to go after the initial hits. As we mentioned, an excellent crowd for Chenango Forks, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Harrison faithful as they've traveled up from the Westchester area, about a 3.5-hour drive, if not 4. Big handoff outside. Juriga now into Harrison territory for a gain of about 5 to the 48.
That was a nice fake to the handoff to Jenks, and he option keeper left side, picked up a few yards there.
Using Jenks as the decoy, which they'll do a lot of. Excellent block up front there as well, Don.
Yes.
Looks like number 74 for Harrison, big number 74, Ryan Labizia with the tackle. As I mentioned, gain of 5, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 5 now. 1-man split wide. 3-man backfield here on the 2nd and 5 for the Blue Devils. A little movement up front. There's the pitch to the outside. Almost to the 42-yard line goes number 7, Chris Spencer. So they fake the option, and this time they go with the option, Don.
Yeah, it was very nice fake again. We take a look at it here. Juriga on the keeper, decides to pitch it, and Spencer picks up some nice yardage.
Right before he got hit there by Steve Burton, number 11 for Harrison. He was a key player in the semifinal game in Kingston last week in their victory over Landingsburg. But now the 2nd first down of this opening series for Chenango Forks.
They're having a lot of success, Jim, with that option so far. I wonder if they're going to continue it on this drive with that.
They're running a lot left, and they go left again over left tackle up the middle. Jenks for a gain of about 7. More or less straight up the gut there, Don.
Sure. Jenks, bruising fullback. We have a man down, Jim.
Official time on the field for injured player.
And it's
Rudy
Arcara.
Oh, my goodness. He is the heart and soul of Harrison's offensive attack. We just hope he's okay right now.
Looks like a leg injury. Arcara is the running back. I saw him doing a lot of extra calisthenics and sort of stretches early on. I wonder if this is something that was aggravating him earlier. Let's see if we can get a look at it. He looks like he's in the middle of the pile right there, so he probably got somebody landing on him.
He's holding his ankle. We hope it's just a mild twist. I think the coaches are looking at it right now.
Yeah, it looks like the left knee. We'll take a break. When we come back, we have no score at 9:24 remaining in the opening quarter. Harrison versus Chenango Forks in this Class B 2002 final. Welcome back, and I don't mean to say with 9:24 remaining in the first quarter here that Harrison's chances in this game have diminished greatly by the look of that, but Rudy Arcara being helped off the field, and you can see the look on the sideline there for Harrison. This is their big gun.
Yeah, the faithful are seriously concerned with Rudy walking off. We're going to take a look at the knee, and we're going to hope that he'll make a re-entrance into this game, Jim. Otherwise, it could be an uphill battle for Harrison.
No question about it. They had 220 yards of rushing in the semifinal game in Kingston last week. Big gainer on first down there. Opening series of the game for either team. Looks like the center blew out early for Chenango Forks. We'll see what the call is.
It's going to cost him 5.
Red ball. Full start on the offense.
Perfect time to give the officials today's ball game. Donald's got it for you.
Alrighty. Today's referee is Dave Bovey. The umpire is Bob Collins. The linesman, Mark Harrison. The line judge, Phil Keenan. And the back judge, Carl Aragio.
Loss of 5 on the penalty. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8. They'll go Jenks over the left side again. He is stopped. Good defensive play. Plugging the middle once again.
The line got good push there, Jim. Jenks picked up about 4 yards. Going to set up a 3rd and approximately 5 yards to go.
Rogliano in on the tackle.
Gain of 4 yards on the play. 3rd down.
4 now for Chenango Forks. Again on their opening drive of the football game. Tough loss for Harrison, but they got to shake it off, play some defense here.
That's right.
Full house backfield, 1 man wide. They fake the handoff. They pitch it outside. They got a man. He's got the first down inside the 30, inside the 25 to about the 20-yard line. Drew Batty. So now they've been using Batty to the outside and Jenks up the middle, and that time a big gainer.
The first 2 times they went option left today, right here on this play. Jariga goes option right. And a tremendous run by Drew Batty. Cuts it upfield, inside the 30 there. He makes first down for the Blue Devils.
Kyle Hannon stops him, but not before he gets to the 21. 3 straight first downs on this opening drive now for the Blue Devils. And they have knocked out Rudy Arcara. He is still on the bench being tended to by the team doctor. Pitch over the left side. They go. Nice defensive play by Rogliano from behind. Trips him up.
Nick
Marabito.
Number 21, Luigi Rogliano.
Gain of about 2. Looking at it from the
They've
end
had
zone.
success going left. They go the option, but they fake the hit, fullback, and they pitch it to Nick Marabito. Cuts it, gets a nice block from his tight end.
Calling a gain of 3, making 2nd.
Picks up 3 yards, Jim.
Rogliano made the tackle there, but it was a good job there, Don, by number 44, Jason Colabella. He was fending off the block, stringing the play outside. One thing we've seen very early on, they are very adept at that fake handoff. This time they go with the handoff, pounding inside the 20. Goes Jenks for a gain of about 3 or 4, bring up a 3rd and a short 2.
They are content to grind it out between the trenches so far. Jenks getting yard after yard between the tight ends here.
Absolutely. Jenks up the middle, Batty to the outside. And it has been a very, very meticulous drive thus far for the Blue Devils. They have not thrown the football as of yet. They haven't had to. They've been getting some good yardage.
Jariga did complete that one nice pass.
That's right, they did.
The first drive.
Thank you, Don. 3rd and 3 now. They go up the middle to the big guy. Jenks pounding inside the 10 for a first down to the 8. That's right, they set up all these runs by passing very early. That's a good point, Don.
Tremendous strength on the offensive line again, Jim. They're winning the war inside the trenches. The handoff, straightforward. Jenks lowers his head, gets the first down. It'll be 1st and goal.
Impressive opening drive here in the first quarter. Jim Campion along with Don Brown. This is high school football championship Class B from the Syracuse Carrier Dome, 2002 style. We thank you for joining us. 6:45 and counting down here in the first quarter. It'll be a first and goal from just inside the 9. We have just begun. Harrison hasn't seen the ball yet. Almost half the first quarter is gone thanks to this Blue Devil drive. Pitch outside. Through again. Trying to cut it up inside. Doing it all he can. But what a nice defensive play there by Colabella, number 44 for Harrison. He would not let all those moves fake him out.
Batty was going back and forth there.
Going Batty.
He was going Batty on the option right. Looked like he was going to try to get in the end zone, but tremendous defensive play.
One more look at it again, Don. You can see Colabella, he did not was fooled by any of these moves, and they were great ones too. He tries the right, the left, back and forth. Looks like they're dance partners here.
And it was a great wrap-up by Colabella there.
Second and goal now. They go up the middle, and now a flag flies from the umpire, and you know what that means.
It could be holding on the offense, Jim. We'll see.
Jenks pounds it down to the 6. Sorry, Don, go ahead.
I was going to say, costly penalty when you're making mistakes in the red zone. It's going to make it 2nd down and goal to go from the 18.
One of the old adages, the drive killer, the holding, and as Don mentioned it very well, it hurts even more when it's inside that 10.
They've had a conservative tack thus far, Jim, running it, you know, with the option, running it up the middle, 18 yards. They may need to go to the airwaves here.
Somewhere along the line. They walk it out to the 16. Is at the point of attack.
With the penalty, it'll be 2nd down and goal from around the 16-yard line for the Blue Devils.
So we'll see here if Coach Green unloads his 6'3", 202-pound senior, Jariga, to go to the air. And they'll run the option again. Jariga cuts it up inside. Nice play again by Rogliano, who has come out tight in this game. Tight, not tight nervous, but tight making all the plays. He ran Jariga into number 20, Ricky Alvarado. Really great play there.
Alvarado, very solid tackle there, but sets up a long 3rd and goal situation for the Blue Devils.
One thing Harrison has done early on here, Don, is they've been able to use their linebackers to kind of stymie the pitch, but Jariga does such a good job holding it to the last moment, and it sort of fakes them out.
Yes, I'd see either option or a throw in the end zone here.
Full house backfield for the Blue Devils. 3rd down and goal from the 12. Play action. Jariga looks, throws over the middle. Got a man wide open in there for the touchdown. It's number 6, Tim Batty. At the back of the end zone, and Don, he just looks like he ran an out and across, and he was wide open on the 3rd down and long.
Jariga did a nice job of leading the pass, and Batty simply ran. Let's take a look at it right here. He sets his feet in the pocket, throws it in stride. Tim Batty, touchdown reception, 6-0, Chenango.
And now Batty for the extra point. And it is good. With 4:52 remaining here in the first quarter, Chenango Forks on their opening drive of the game take a 7-0 lead. And not only is that a costly drive for the Harrison Huskies, but they lose perhaps their best player in Rudy Alcara, who is discussing things over with the team trainer by the bench, and he looks like he's walking gingerly. He's starting to jog now, so it looks like he's going to come back in this football game. But one more look at this great spot pass by Chenango.
It's open in the back of the end zone. Batty did a solid job running underneath it. On a 3rd down and goal, that was an important throw, Jim.
Kyle Hannon was back in the zone. He let him go into the middle, so I assume that was Steve Burton's man. Burton came there late, but he just ran to the ball, and it was a great spot pass.
Again, last week, Matt Jariga threw 3 touchdown passes. He's already got 1 to start out.
That's right, 2 passes on that opening drive for Jariga. He's 2 for 2, and the pass to Batty does it. In fact, I think he threw it to Batty early on. In fact, there's the 2 Batties, and I assume they're brothers. Drew Batty got the opening pass,
sure,
and then Tim Batty with the catch and the touchdown. So it is 7-0 Batties over the Harrison Huskies. It looks like Arcara is going to come back in this game. He's running gingerly, but yet moving back and forth.
That's good to see that.
It is.
Kyle Hannon deep.
And there's the boot. Hannon now from his own 16, looking for the wedge. Up the middle, and he is spun down at the 39. Great field position, though, for the Huskies.
It's a solid return there by Rudy Hannon. Kyle Hannon, excuse me, Jim. Made about 25 yards on that return. Solid.
Let's give you the Huskies offense. Rudy Arcara who is he coming in? I haven't seen him. Yeah, he's in there, the main running back. He's in there. Peter Kolash is the quarterback. Steve Burton also a running back there. Ricky Alvarado is the tight end. Luigi Rogliano, an excellent fullback. Angelo Del Borgo, key defensive player last week, is the split end. We'll give you the front line in just a moment. I formation. Alvaro is in the game in the front. They hand it off over the right side to the fullback, Rugliano. Rugliano cuts up inside. Rugliano to the midfield stripe and an 11-yard gain and a first down for the Huskies.
Now Rugliano, let's take a look here, Jim. Takes the handoff, Kolash, breaks to his right, good pursuit.
Almost a holding there, bro.
Look, almost a holding. Nice piece of running, though. Picks up 11 yards. Nice way to open.
To the midfield stripe. Thanks to the front line for the Huskies. Joe Ferry and Eric Heron are the guards. Matt Munford is the center. Andrew Weiniger and Ryan Lambiasi are the tackles. We'll give you the defense for the Blue Devils in a moment. 1st and 10 from just inside Blue Devil territory. Arcara for about a yard. Handoff by Kolash. Let's give you the Chenango Forks defense while we can. Nose tackle is Kelsey Jenks. Defensive tackles Juan Mendoza, Steve Blackman, Mike Bunker, and Jake Verendenberg. Defensive ends are Zach Tarnowski and Jake Frisch. Linebackers Steve Tronanovich and Matt Blackman. Cornerbacks Drew Batty and Tim Batty out there in the backfield. Matt Juriga and Nick Maravita and Chris Spencer round out the safeties for the Blue Devils. 2nd down now and 9 for Harrison, trailing by 7 early on. They give it to Arcaro, cuts pretty well on that bum knee and gets down to about the 46-yard line before he is wrapped up by number 55, Steve Blackman.
Yeah, it's nice to see, first of all, it's nice to see Arcara in the game, and he picked up a nice 4-yard gain between the trenches there. Important 3rd down coming up. Keep the momentum going here.
Nice drive by Harrison. They take the opening punch by Chenango Forks. They get their top runner back on the field, and they get the ball into their territory. As a chance of defense comes up from the blue and red just below us, Donnie, and here they come. 3rd down and about 5.5 for Harrison. The handoff over the right side, Luigi now cutting inside the 40. He's got the first down to the 36. Wrapped up by Chenango, but not before Luigi Rogliano gets yet another Harrison first down.
They had success running right with Rogliano before. Here it is again. Important 3rd down handoff. Takes his blocks, cuts it upfield. Tremendous gain on the play for another important first down.
Jenks and Juriga on the tackle to the 46. How important now does Rugliano play a part in this game that Arcara is not healthy?
Well, he's starting out strong. It's very important, Jim, very important. Arcara is in there. He's hobbling gingerly coming into the huddle. But definitely, Rogliano's is going to play a key to today.
They come out in the I formation. He's the up back now. And they give it to Rogliano, this time over the left side. And he gains about 2. The initial hit laid in there by Steve Blackman for the Blue Devils. So they try the left side now, Danny.
Sure. Good pursuit by the Blue Devils on defense, closing down the hole there.
Doesn't seem like, except for that explosive run on first down earlier by Rogliano, in the next 4 or 5 plays, Harrison's not getting huge yardage, but they're getting them in chunks, and they're moving the ball, or as Hank Stram once said in those NFL films, matriculating the ball down the field, slowly but surely. 2nd down and 8 now for Harrison. Handoff over the left side. This time it's Gannon. Inside the 25. Inside the 15. He's gone. Touchdown, Harrison. No flags. Touchdown for number 3, Kyle Hannon. Nice job.
Tremendous run by Kyle Hannon there. Let's take a look at this touchdown run, Jim. They go to the left side with Hannon. Cuts it up. Beautiful cut. Breaks the tackle. Goes to the left side and simply outruns the defense. Tremendous touchdown run by Hannon.
A key block right there. There is a man down for the Blue Devils. Mikey, if we could show that one more time, there's a key block up the field. I didn't get the number for the Harrison Huskies. What a great block it was. The initial run, it looked like he was going to get the first down easy, but those last 20 yards you got to give to whomever gave this block, and I think it was 55 up there, Donnie. Eric Heron. Let's watch him. No, 52 right there.
Great block. Great block. And Hannon with his acceleration there, just turned to the outside and outran number 7, Chris Spencer, right into the end zone.
Joe Breffery, number 52 with the key block. The man who was injured on the play was Juan Mendoza, but he seems to be okay. So he will jog off the field. And with 2:03 remaining in the opening stanza, we got ourselves a football game. Each team's had the ball first. Each team has scored a touchdown. And now for the extra point will be Kolas, the quarterback, and also kicker now for the Huskies.
This is an important extra point, Jim, with a game 7-6.
Now Borgo with the hold. There's the kick, and it is no good. Wide left. So the score remains 7-6 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Well, both teams come out here like Ali Frazier, and instead of jabbing a little bit, they come out with roundhouse punches. Mainly the Blue Devils coming out with the option and the pass. And in here with for Harrison, they ran Rogliano, and then they come out here with this great run by Hatton.
Yeah, that was important for the Harrison Huskies to answer the bell. I know they missed the extra point there, but it was still a nice answer. 7-6. We've got quite a ball game starting here in the Dome, Jeff.
Absolutely. Both teams come in here with great seasons. Number 2, the Huskies at 11-1 from Harrison in Section 1, one of the toughest sections in New York State. In fact, of all 5 games this weekend, Don, 4 of them have a representative from Section 1. And for the Blue Devils, they proudly represent Section 4, 12-0, number 1 rank in the state, and they've been number 1 the whole year. They got to this game last year, lost to Peru, so they've had that proverbial target on their back all
They
year.
have. They've been number 1 ranked the entire season. We talked about this earlier. They've been pointed towards today. And we're going to see what they do with their second drive. Let's see.
Marabido and Batty back deep for the Blue Devils, and Hannon to kick off. Best news of the day so far for the Huskies is Arcara is in there and running hard. Kick back pretty deep. Batty will take it at the 4. Great kick. Looking for the wedge. Cutting inside, and he's wrapped up by the kicker, Hannon, at the 30-yard line. Nice job by Kyle Hannon. He boots it, and he makes the tackle.
Nice return, though, by Batty. Took it upfield, got to about the 31-yard line. Solid piece of return yardage there.
Good amount of seniors back for Chenango Forks. As we see here, 24 seniors, 10 juniors. So all these kids obviously were here last year to taste this thing of that loss to Peru. And certainly with each play, they feel they're getting closer and closer to their goal, which is to erase that
Class B trophy.
Absolutely. And now Chenango now over the 35-yard line, gain of about 5 off the option. Tackle made by Rogliano again. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Tackle
Rodriguez
there.
makes the handoff to Jenks.
Haynes with
Cuts
that.
upfield. Again, he's a dual threat to run or pitch the ball in that situation.
And we saw him before the game down in the field, and he's every bit of 6'3". He's a big kid. Stands tall in the pocket. And you see there, 2 passes today, 2 for 2, and the touchdown. 3 touchdown passes last week right here in the Dome for the semifinal championship to get here and represent the West. Handoff, no, a fake. Pitch to the outside, nicely done. Rabideau, though, he is strung out, and an excellent defensive play by Calabolo. And he's done a nice job so far, 44 for Harrison, not allowing the outside on the right side of the defense.
Yeah, you see the pitch here to Marabido. He cuts it upfield, but tremendous defensive pursuit, as you said, Jim, by number 24. 44, excuse me. Calabella, tremendous tackle.
He's the guy who stopped those crazy moves by Batty earlier on that goal-to-goal.
Important third down here for Chenango Forks. 1 fullback, Kelsey Jenks.
Fake handoff, straight drop. There's a throw of the left flat, and they've got a man, and he's got it at the 46-yard line. Rogliano drops him at the 50, but not before a first down for the tight end, number 49.
Zach
Daranowski, one of the captains for this football team, but a nice pass out in the left flat. The big guy throwing the ball down the field.
Jariga again, throwing it. Leads his receiver nicely. Zach Tarnowski does a nice job of cradling that in. Another important third down conversion, Jim.
That's right, the touchdown was on the 3rd down. It was a 3rd and goal from the 12 because of the 5-yard penalty, legal procedure. So here come the Blue Devils again for the 2nd time into Harrison territory. Keeper by Jariga, and he spins through 2 tackles down to the 44-yard line. Nice job by Jariga. Looks like he was stopped there by big number 70, Andrew Weiniger, but no, he keeps on going.
Well, you see here, he absorbs the first hit from number 70, Andrew Weiniger, but he fights forward for a 5-yard gain.
Arcara trying to rip the ball out, and he holds on to it. 12 in the books here from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. Both teams scoring a touchdown in their opening drive, but in this extra point is the difference. It's 7-6. Blue Devils over the Huskies. Come on back for 2nd quarter action of this Class B championship game right after this. Well, Welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse, the site for this Class B 2002 championship between Chenango Forks, Harrison. Chenango Forks leading 7-6. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown here in the press box up here for this great game. New York State Public High School Athletic Association and MJM Productions bringing you this telecast. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Jakes. Jakes down to the 25. Still on his feet. Jakes to the 10. Jakes to the 5. To the 2. What a run by Jakes. Oh, my.
Wow. Wow, Jim. That's all I can say. Kelsey Jakes showing us why he could be the Class B New York State Player of the Year.
One tackle. Let's see how many tackles he breaks.
Explosive speed. Breaks a tackle here. That's the second tackle. He breaks a third tackle. Now he's outrunning the secondary. Cuts it inside the 10. Carries 3 guys down to the 1.
What a
Tremendous
great,
run.
and how about that great defensive play by a guy who was a standout last week, Steve Burton, number 11. He was the guy, the second tackle he broke and chased him all the way down to the 2 to save the touchdown.
He kept him out of the end zone. That was an important wrap up there.
Full house backfield now. First and goal from the 2. What a run by Kelsey Jakes. They go back to Jakes up the right side, and he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Blue Devils, and Chenango Forks, behind the hard running of Kelsey Jakes, have taken the lead.
Again, the big surge from the offensive line along the right-hand side. Jakes just powers his way in for the touchdown.
Well, if he can go however many yards on that last run, unofficially about 36 yards, I'm sure the youngster can go the 2, and they give it right back to him, and he scores. And there's he and his quarterback celebrating his second touchdown of the ball game. And now for the extra point is Batty, and he boots it through. So we'll see if that extra point missed by Harrison looms large later on, Don, but Blue Devils have had the ball twice, and they've gone the length of the field for 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. We got to see Kelsey Jakes early on running, grinding it out between the tackles. On that big run, we saw his explosive speed as well, Jim.
I would say that's unofficially about a
44-yard run.
Yeah, about a 44-yard run by Jakes. Look at the great play. Watch number 11 here, Burton. He misses, and then he'll come back into the play. Yeah, excellent job.
He would not be denied. He smelled the pay dirt, got down to the 2.
What a run by Jakes. He's everything that he was advertised in the pregame and before. What a season he's had for the Blue Devils.
Now let's see if the Harrison Huskies can answer the call again. They did a real solid job in scoring that touchdown, coming back. Important for them to answer again.
Yes, I erroneously said that they took the lead, but they had the lead because of the missed extra point. So they make it an 8-point bulge here with 11:29 remaining in the second quarter of this Class B title game. Chenango Forks coming back to the scene of the crime, so to speak, 12 months almost to the day that they lost to Peru, and their fans are clapping and cheering as they've taken this early 8-point lead. But here come the Huskies, who have not been stopped as of yet. It's Hannon, and now it'll be Burton with the football at the 16. Looking for the wedge. Burton cuts up inside to the 38-yard line, and he's pounded down there. Great coverage by Chenango Forks. This time, number 84 is Jesse Smith.
Jesse Smith in with a big tackle there, but a nice return by Hannon.
As we mentioned, this is a battle of 1 against 2. Undefeated, number 1 ranked Chenango Forks. They have not lost a football game since they lost one right here. And I know the Chenango Forks fans will listen to this over and over again, but it's a great story. To get there once is enough, but to come back with the 24 seniors, 10 juniors, with everybody knowing that that's your number 1 goal and to play all those games all season long, it is a great story. But Harrison's got a story they're writing themselves, and they go to Luigi again, Rogliano, over the right side for about 5.
Yeah, they're being very patient in their attack here. Hand off to Rogliano. He's been the man so far. Breaks the tackle, cuts it up for a nice pickup on first down, Jim.
Now, Rogliano was very key last week, as I mentioned, in Kingston. So this is not a case of, you know, the nobody coming up to save the day for Arcara. He is a key guy. He's a great blocking back, and he also runs hard. Arcara is in the football game, but obviously not 100%. Full house backfield, 1 man in motion, and they hand it off up the middle to, no, it's a fake. Herlas, and he might have faked me out, but he didn't fake out a good defensive play by number, let me see here, 49. I'm going to get it right.
Zach Tarnowski.
Tarnowski, one of the captains. Good job by Tarnowski.
Let's take another look. Kolash on the keeper. Tarnowski fights off the block and wraps him up for a big tackle there.
Picked out our cameraman, too. All right, bringing up a third down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll call it.
Third down, 6 to go.
They got to get to the 49. They're on their feet and making some noise in the blue and red. Huskies now. Kolash calling signals, hard to hear. Hands off over the right side. This has gotten them 2 first downs earlier. Rogliano will not make it. He's hit hard at the 45-yard line. Tackle led by Josh Phelps. Oh, it's Jenks. Oh, it was Jenks. Good job. Got it.
Wraps him up. Important third down stop. Again, we know what he can do on offense. We just saw it, but let's take a look at Kelsey Jenks defensively here. Fights off a block. Ooh, solid hit. Kelsey Jenks.
That was a great tackle. That is where you do it. Get him around the midsection, center of gravity. Rogliano got 2 first downs on the opening series that got Harrison 6 points on that very same sweep. This time, Jenks was ready for him. And now Hannon back at his own 32. And he gets it away. Batty waiting for it. Now the fair catch at the 25 taken by Marabito. Nick Marabito. And that is where the Blue Devils will take over for the 3rd time in this game. 9:11 remaining in the first half.
This is an important series for Coach Troy Lowe's defense here. They need to come up big and make a stop because they don't want to fall behind by more than they currently are, Jim.
Down by 8 with 9:11 remaining in the second quarter. This Class B game, last of the season, somebody's got to win. Harrison with 1 loss on the season. They lost their opening game, Don, and then reeled off 11 in a row, including the sectional game against Edgemont and New Paltz, and then, of course, the game last week against that tough football team, Lansingburg. Handoff to Jenks now. No. Battling, gets about 2 or 3. Excellent job, Rogliano there. Helped out also by number 20, Ricky Alvarado. And that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Jariga on the keeper. He faked the handoff to Jenks. It's a dual threat there, and he does pick up 4 yards on first down.
Play 2nd and 6.
So working on a top-notch game is Jenks. Got the big, what was it unofficial? About a 44-yard run down
44-yard down to the 2-yard line. Then he took it in from there for the score.
2nd down and 6 now for the Blue Devils. As Don mentioned, this is a Harrison team that played great defense last week. They got to dig it in right here, and they do. Jenks maybe gets a yard. Good job by number 42. Defensive standout last week, Del Borgo, stretching that one out for Rogliano, and he makes the tackle.
Yeah, Jenks goes to the outside, but Del Borgo quickly up to the line to make an important tackle. Good, solid wrap-up on the tough Jenks.
Burton also in on the play. A lot of men to the ball. Harrison loves to go a lot of men to the ball. They got beat on the point of attack on that long run. Great blocking, and then, of course, excellent extra effort by Jenks on the 44-yard ramble as he broke 4 or 5 tackles on his way to the 2, and then, of course, scored. And now a 3rd down and 4. They need to get to the 35 for the first down on the 3rd series of the game. Here comes the fake pitch. Jariga has got the first down. Great job by the 6'3 Jariga as he was able to battle over the blockers and get the first down, Don.
Let's take a look. He knows right where that line is, Jim. He absorbs a hit, but he's fighting forward, reaches the ball out, makes sure he gets the first down. Heads-up play by the quarterback.
Matt Jariga, as I mentioned, 202, 6'3", and Don, he knew exactly where the first down was, and he made sure he got there. Just barely, but he does. And it'll be a first down for the Blue Devils, and Harrison has had no answer for this option offense. Right back to Jenks. Kelsey Jenks now battling to the 41. Now a flag flies very close to the line of scrimmage. Now that's a fullback dive inside the tackles. To have a holding on that play is really tough. We'll see if they do call that.
Is that the call? We believe maybe on the defense.
Yeah, they're talking. Yeah, they're talking to the center, and it will be. We get the initial indication. So a face mask with the 5-yard variety. Years ago, they did not have different varieties. They changed that in the pros, and about 3 years ago, they changed it in high school where you can have 5 yards if it's incidental, and then one of the really bad ones, they give you the 15-yarder.
Sure. It sets up a 2nd and short. They have the option to run Jenks up the middle, or maybe they try the home run ball here, Jim. Let's see.
2 for 2 is Jariga. Full house backfield now. And they fake. They're going to go play action. Jariga now under the gun, rolling right. He tucks it under, 45, and he's knocked out of bounds by Rugliano, knocked at the 48-yard line. The fans wanted a late hit, but great job by Rugliano. He chased him, and he grabbed him by the jersey. Had to drag him down there, but another first down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they were looking up top. Jariga's looking long here. Doesn't have a man open, so he decides to scramble. Again, knows right where the first down yardage marker is and does get enough to attain another first down for the Blue Devils.
Harrison, no answer thus far for this Blue Devil attack. They have had the ball twice. They have scored 2 touchdowns. This is their 3rd time they're getting the ball, and they are 2 yards from their 3rd foray into Harrison Husky territory. So we'll see if they can do it again. They've got a 1st and 10, and they are doing the job. And they've gone the length of the field each time. No turnovers in this game yet. Kelsey Jenks for a solid 3 yards on first down. Actually, we'll give him 4 on that, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, the line surge has been tremendous thus far for the Fork team. They're pushing out. Jenks is getting the ball. If they open a hole, he may be breaking another long one. But for now, they're going to be content to pick up 4 yards at a crack.
Mendoza, Blackman, Frisch, Bunker, Bronson, Redeberg are the guys who do a lot of the blocking up front for Forks. And once again, Chenango Forks into Harrison territory at the 48. 2nd and 6 now. Full house backfield again. Fire out. Fake to Jenks. Pitch outside. And hit hard by Rugliano at the 48-yard line. What a pound. No gain on the play. Rugliano with the hit. Chris Spencer got it.
Now, Spencer heard him before going outside. They try the option again to Spencer. Let's see what happens here. Rugliano on the pursuit. And makes a solid hit. Solid hit. Luigi Rugliano wrapped him up strong there.
No gain on the play. In fact, lost about a half a yard. So another big 3rd down for Chenango Forks. They have produced 4 3rd downs in this game thus far. And
they've converted each one, Jim.
Absolutely.
Harrison needs a stop right now.
2 men wide out now. Straight drop. Riga throws, and it is picked off! It's picked off by number 11, and he's going to go! He's got 1 man to beat. Hannon, God! Touchdown, Harrison! What a turnaround!
Wow. Steve Burton may have just changed the complexion of this game. In fact, he did change the complexion of this game.
Steve Burton, who played an awesome football game in Kingston last week against Westernburg, and he comes out of nowhere to pick this off, Don.
He tips it, has the presence of mind to stay with it, makes the interception, comes downfield, looks like he's going to go in the end zone, and then he gives a little stutter step to get by Jariga. It waltzes into the end zone for perhaps the game-tying touchdown. Let's see on this 2-point conversion, Jim, what takes place.
Nick Marabido was the intended receiver. That ball floated up there a little long, and an excellent job by Burton to cut in. They're going to go for the 2 and the tie. 14-12 right now. Here we go. Full house backfield for Harrison. Fake handoff. Kolas rolling right under the gun. Kolas goes down to 12. Tackled in the backfield there by number 70, Jake Frisch.
Yeah, Jake did a nice job there in stopping the 2-point conversion, wrapped him up for an important sack in this game. Let's take another look at the touchdown, Jim. Jariga's going up top, is targeted for Drew Batty again, but just a real strong interception by Steve Burton. Takes it upfield. And the rest dances into the end zone.
You know, an excellent job also, Burton. A lot of guys get excited when they get the ball like that. He could very well have bobbled it and fell down to the ground, but he made sure his hands were soft. It got into the cradle, and he was running for the end zone, and he's getting a big cheer there for Angelo Del Borgo as he has made this a 2-point game. But the Huskies now putting the adventure back into the extra point, and that may end up costing them this football game.
Well, you know, it's like I said, it's the Class B title game. These kids are under the big lights of the Carrier Dome, and the players and the All-Stars come out, and Burton just made an All-Star type play there.
Yeah, he is their top defensive player by far, but he and Rogliano today have done an excellent job defensively. Del Borgo also a key member. Hannon now to kick, and it will be Batty from his own 14. What a heck of a first half in this Class B championship game. Batty up over the 30, and he's met by a fired-up Husky team, but he keeps surging forward till about the 34. Good run back by Batty. 5:07 remaining in the first half, and Don, You have to favor the Blue Devils, mainly for the fact that they've had the ball 3 times, they have 2 touchdowns. But that pickoff, those turnovers in these big games kill you, and when it's converted to a touchdown, that changes the old momentum, do you think?
Sure. I mean, they had the momentum rolling, Jim. They had 2 touchdowns. They were driving again. No nonsense, up the strength of strengths, of Jenks up the middle. And that could have just turned the old momentum factor in this game.
Well, let's see if Harrison feeds on that. You mentioned, Don, right before that big 3rd down, how proficient Blue Devils were and how Harrison had to stop them. Oh, stop them they did. All right, handoff up the middle. They go back to their big guy, and why not? And Jenks still on his feet, spinning for extra yardage. Maybe 3 on the play. Rugliano there for the stop, along with number 74, Ryan Lambiese. But what a job by Harrison. They really needed to stop there, and they end up getting a touchdown out of that defense.
They're going to need to make more defensive plays there. They had wrapped up Jenks, but they need to have 2 and 3 bodies to bring this big guy down.
Jenks with the big 44-yard run, setting up the 2nd touchdown in which he pulled off a 2-yard run, making it 14-6, but the pickoff now by Burton, changing the momentum of this game. Duringa now pitches it back, and good pursuit again. Tackle made by number 44, Colabella. The pitch went outside to Trunovich.
They go short side option here. Jariga on the keeper, pitches to Marabito for a short gain on the play.
I think it was Marabito who was the intended receiver on the pickoff, and that ball, what do you think there on the interception? Not to keep going back to that, but it's such a big play. It seemed like he just didn't get enough on it, and it seemed to float up, allowing the safety, or the linebacker in that case, to get over and pick it off.
Yeah, I think Marabito was the intended receiver. The ball hung up in the air. Jariga, not one of his better throws. I'm sure he's going to try to rebound from that throw.
3rd and 1 now. They go back to Jenks, and Jenks is close. I think he's got it. He needed to get to the 45, and he does. Rogliano in on the tackle, but not before the Blue Devils pick up yet another 1st down. Now,
he's such a weapon on Jim on 3rd and short. Let's take a look. Just power football. You need just a couple yards. They go to their bread and butter play. Power, Jenks running.
Now, does this affect, I know there's plenty of time left in this game. Jariga with 3 touchdowns last week, a touchdown in this game. But does that change your game plan a little bit? Coach Green knows he can run the football against this team. Does he go back to the pass, or is he a little shaky on it?
I got to believe that they're having such success in the ground. They have not punted in the game. They may go a little more conservative and keep it on the ground.
This time they go to Spencer to the outside. Flags fly. This may come back. Nice tackle out there by number 20, Alvarado, for Harrison, but there is a flag down in the back.
Might have been a legal motion on the offense, Jim. There's a man down for the Forks.
All right, we'll check on the penalty and the injury, but let's take a break. Jim Campion along with Don Brown, the entire MJM crew. You are watching the Class B championship game from Syracuse's Carrier Dome. 3:50 left in the first half. 14-12, Forks over Harrison.
Parents, listen up. Did you know that classroom performance is enhanced by participation in athletics? The New York State Public High School Athletic Association strives to bring a quality athletic experience to every high school student athlete, as well as recognize student athletes in the classroom. For more information, log on to our website at nysphsaa.org or call 518-439-8872.
Spencer?
Welcome back. Chris Spencer being helped off the field. He was the man injured on that play. And he gets a nice hand from his fans. One of the safeties for the Blue Devils, who lead this one 14-12 with 3:50 remaining here in the first half. Jim Campion and Don Brown here. And Blue Devils have yet to punt in this football game. They've had the ball 3 times. They have 2 touchdowns and a pickoff run the other way by Burton. And now here's their 4th series of the game. So every time they've touched the ball, somebody scored.
Yeah, and the turnover, again, is the play of the game. There's only been 1, and it was for a game-breaking interception return. So that could be the storyline. The team that the ball security in this game.
Unofficially, a 60-yard interception for Burton. And now here comes a 1st and 15. Ringa keeps it Juriga inside the 50 to the 47-yard line. Another big run by the big 6'3" quarterback. This time dragged down again by Rugliano. He's got about 20 tackles already, Don.
He is a tough guy to bring down. 6'3" Rogliano, another tackle, like you said, but Juriga fights forward for about a gain of 12, setting up a 3rd and short. We may see Jenks again here.
Rogliano will do anything to make a tackle. That time he nearly de-jerseyed Juriga. He's got that out. 2nd and now. He brings up a 2nd and a short, too. Another passing possibility here. But after the pickoff, let's see, this is where they turned it over last time. Fake hand up, they go the reverse to the outside. Another nice tackle by Del Borgo, but not before number 24, Steve Trnatovic, picks up the 1st down for the Blue Devils.
In last week's game, Angelo DeBorgo was the defensive player of the game in the state semifinal. And there he made another nice tackle on Steve Trnatovic.
So they've used Trnatovic, they've used Batty, they've used Marabito, and they've used a whole lot of the big guy, Kelsey Jenks, thus far. So a lot of looks for the Blue Devils, and they have moved the ball at will in this football game. If not for the turnover, they've been great. Jenks gets it over the left side. They fake going outside. Good hard hit, and it's Rogliano again. What a game by Rogliano. What
a game. He was not fooled by the option there, the handoff. He wrapped up Jenks right away. He needs to do that the entire game. This Harrison defense needs a lift, and he's providing it thus far.
He, Burton, and Del Borgo really leading this Harrison team into this football game as they shut down Lansingburg's 3 1,000-yard rushers last week in Kingston. Windy, cold day. Now we're in the controlled climbs of the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse for this Class B championship game on Thanksgiving weekend. The Blue Devils at 12-0, undefeated, trying to come back to where they lost the championship game last week against the Harrison Huskies, who are 11-1, searching for their 1st title, and now flags fly, most likely a delay of game here against the Blue Devils.
They might have had too many men on the field when they reached the line of scrimmage.
On the offense, 5 yards.
Mr. Brown, 4 for 4 on the penalties. You're right on top of it. We've got to get you a zebra shirt.
Now time becomes a factor, Jim. With 1:38 remaining, Chenango has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. I believe that they have time to execute this drive, but we'll have to wait and see.
Matt Juriga, 2 for 2 and a pickoff for a touchdown the other way thus far. 2nd down and 13 now from the 45. They're going to try a pitch on the option, and what a great play defensively there. Number 24, Josh Haynes for Harrison, did not allow that run by Batty.
Yeah, Haynes makes a big-time play. Was not fooled on the reverse.
Batty
does a nice job of wrapping him up for an important tackle for a loss.
It could have been a lot worse. Good job by Batty getting anything out of that. They're hard to bring down, these Blue Devil runners, but a great job by Haynes. Nobody blocked him, and as you said, Don, he was not fooled by that reverse. Gain of a yard on the play, and now another 3rd down for the Blue Devils. They are 2 for 2, and then, of course, the pickoff. So 2 for 3. Straight drop. Juriga throws, and he floats it again, but this time he gets it to the 33-yard line. It's going to be short of a 1st down to the tight end, Tarnowski. Zach Tarnowski knocked out of bounds by Rugliano, but that time the ball was almost picked off again.
Similar play to the interception return. Let's take a look. Juriga drops back. He's looking right, throws a floater just over the outstretched hands.
That's a great pass.
Yeah, great catch and important 1st down.
They give him the 1st at the 31. I thought he went out at the 32, but they give him a very, very happy spot if you're wearing blue and red. Unhappy if you've got maroon and white.
3rd and 12, and they got just the 12 needed yards. Jim.
And that is huge because 39 seconds left. Harrison would have been able at least to go in at 14-12. Now they got to defend their old goal again. Straight drop. Juriga throws over the middle, and he gets the man at the 20-yard line. Hit hard by number 3, Kyle Hannon, but not before yet another 1st down.
And what a catch by Drew Batty. Let's take a look. Juriga is starting to have a lot of success. They're clicking. He drops back in the pocket here. He's looking to his man, and Batty absorbs a tremendous hit by Kyle Hannon, but is able to hang on to the football.
Yeah, now we gave Juriga some grief for that pickoff. He's thrown 3 really nice passes, floating him in there, making sure he leads his receivers, and he got him there on the goal line. They had to take a timeout because he got tackled in bounds, so we'll take a break. 34 seconds remaining in the half. 14-12 Forks, but they're gambling for more. Hang with us. welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse, the site of the Class B championship. And Don, before we came back from break, you reminded me, Juriga is 4 for 5 unofficially. The only incompletion really was a pickoff by Burton.
Yeah, there has not been a drop pass coming out of the hands of Matt Juriga. 4 for 5, one costly mistake, but he's making up for it so far this drive, Jim.
34 ticks left, 2 timeouts left for the Blue Devils. Straight drop on the play action. Juriga looks over the middle. He's got a man wide open to the 10, the 5, touchdown Blue Devils. Nick Marabito. 20 yards from Juriga.
How important is that? Right before the halftime, Juriga again. We just talked about it. He's throwing the ball very well. And Marabito is wide open. Catches the ball at about the 18, cuts it upfield, not a man in sight, and dances into the end zone for their 3rd score of the game.
Blue Devils have had the football in this Class B title game 4 times. They've scored 3 touchdowns, and they gave the Harrison Huskies a touchdown. So somebody scores every time they touch the ball, and thus far, if you're the Huskies and a timeout taken here, one more look at the touchdown. If you're the Huskies, you got to go into halftime and figure out how to stop this juggernaut because the Blue Devils look unstoppable.
They do. A great little touch pass.
Nobody in the screen. Don, what happened there?
I think it was a defensive breakdown. Marabito cuts to the outside and just accelerates into the end zone.
Well, great job by Chenango Forks. They have done everything possible in this game offensively. They have gone up the middle to Jenks. They have gone to the outside with some of their other backs, split ends. They have thrown the football with great propensity. That's 2 touchdown passes now for Juriga. And, of course, as we mentioned, the pickoff. So a great job. He'll hold
He's looked
now.
tremendous so far. Matt Juriga having a tremendous State B Class Championship game.
And there's the boot by Batty, and it's good. So 3 for 3 for Batty, and that is huge because now it is a 9-point lead with only 26 ticks remaining here in the first half. Now, if you're Coach Troilo, you could throw the football with Kolash. If we take a look one more time at this pass, and again, we're looking at the quarterback here, so we have no idea, crossing over the middle, how wide open Marabito got, but he went 15 yards untouched. I mean, that's a touchdown in flag football. But anyway, if you are Coach Troilo, we don't see these teams all year long, so obviously this is a guess on your part, John, but if you were Coach Troilo, 26 seconds left, depending on field position, would you go for a score early, or would you say, okay, let me cut my losses, go into the locker room down by 9?
Well, I think it depends on the setup of the return, Jim, but I'd be willing to say they're going to cut their losses, regroup at halftime, and come out playing well in the second half.
Harrison has moved the ball very well themselves, but again, they have had no luck stopping the Blue Devils, the pickoff notwithstanding. Great run back by Steve Burton for the score. We thought that changed momentum, but it's right back in the hands of Chenango Forks. They'll bound it along the ground. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Number 22 is Frelo, and he's going to be wrapped up at the 32. Now, this is not great field position, and there's only 19 seconds left. All 3 timeouts for Coach Troilo and Harrison, but I got to go with you. I got to take a knee here and go into halftime and regroup and try to get my defense, which played so well the last couple of weeks, to get his team here, to regroup and try to figure out a way to stop this potent Blue Devil offense.
I think they're going to go into the locker room and make some adjustments on handling the powered running game of Jenks, but more importantly, when Juriga's getting a lot of time, they need to address pass pressure in the backfield.
Matt Juriga, unofficially 5 for 6 in the first half, 2 touchdowns and an interception, and he has been responsible for almost all the points in this game, one way or the other. Full house backfield now. Kolash is going to run the option, looking sacked by Jenks at the 30, and that
should do it.
Kolash hot and screaming at his sideline. He wants another play, but he's not going to get one. They're going to let it run down. 24 minutes in the books in this Class B 2002 game. And Don, some final thoughts before we go into halftime.
Well, unstoppable is the only word that comes to mind when you're talking about the Chenango Forks offense in the first half. No punts. The loneliest guy on the poor team is their punter.
Well, Harrison's got to change things defensively. Offensively, though, I believe they get the football at the start of the second half, so they'll have a chance to cut into this 9-point lead. At half, here from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, thanks to MJM Productions and the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, we got a doozy. It's a hold, sash, and humdinger. 21-12. Forks leads over Harrison. Come on back. Second half stats and we'll recap the scores and the second half from the Carrier Dome right after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse. The Class B 2002 state title on the line between the Harrison Huskies at 11-1. Section 1's Harrison Huskies, ranked number 2 in the state, against the Chenango Forks Central High School Blue Devils, ranked number 1 in state, 12-0. Chenango Forks leads this one 21-12 at halftime. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown. This is the New York State Public High Schools Athletic Association and MJM Productions presentation of this Class B title event. And some halftime stats, Don, of some repute, and there are quite a few that are glaring in the positive for Chenango Forks and in the negative for Harrison.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Jim. Again, glaring, the first one that comes to mind, 8 for 9 on third down conversions. We talked about earlier in the game how important it is to convert on third down. They're at 8 for 9. But let's dive further into the statistics. 254 yards of total offense versus just 65 for Harrison. And that can be attributed to the great running of both Kelsey Jenks and quarterback Matt Chiriga.
And on the other side of the coin, it also talks about Arcara's injury. He only had 4 yards, where he is one of the best football players in all of New York State. And because of the early injury to the knee on defense, he's really hurt them. It's really hurt them.
Last week's semifinal, we touched on it earlier, he ran for over 200 yards. Today, only 2 carries. He'd like to be out there with more carries if he could. He's simply too wobbly to be the lead man today, and that's really gonna be a challenge for Harrison to overcome in the second half.
Absolutely, and, as well as the 9-point deficit. The time of possession really tells the tale. You mentioned it, 39 plays to 10 plays. Shenango Forks over Harrison. Time of possession 18:27 to 5.5 minutes. That's unbelievable.
Total domination. The Harrison defense, we could kind of see it towards the end of the half. They're getting tired. They gave up the big play, the 20-yard pass play to Mirabito right before halftime, and that really, was a game-changing touchdown right before halftime.
Absolutely. They could have stopped them on that third down, 8 of the 9. That third down, getting them down to the 20-yard line to set up the pass was as big as any of the other 8. And what do you do here if you're Harrison? Do you try to run blitz up the middle to stop Jenks? Do you try to misdirection? Try anything new? Or, you're 11-1. Why try anything new? Just play hard football and get back in this game.
Well, they got to do what got them here, and that's play good, aggressive football. And they're only 9 points behind Jim. That's 2 scores away. It's not an insurmountable lead. Based on the first half statistics that we went over, they're lucky to be only down 9.
Absolutely, a good point. Kyle Hannon takes the kickoff out to the 40, so it'll be great field position for Harrison to begin the second half. The Huskies deferred the kickoff. Coach Art Troilo decided to go with his great defense, and Chenango Forks, as Don mentioned hilariously at the end of the first half, the loneliest guy on their team is the punter. They haven't punted. They have 3 touchdowns and a pickoff going the other way. I formation, here comes Harrison down by 9. They give it off to Arcaro, who was injured earlier, and he's covered up there after a gain of 3. Nice job by the Blue Devils defensively.
Well, first of all, it's good to see Rudy back in the game. He goes off tackle to pick up a couple of yards. He's going to need a big half for Harrison if they want to get back into this game.
Karnowski with the tackle, gain of 2 to the 42. Again, great field position for the Huskies. But again, Arcaro now jogging gingerly off the field on this 2nd down and 8, or 9. So it might be a passing down, but they're they're not gonna put him in any jeopardy injury-wise, championship game or not. But
Rogliano becomes ultra important in this circumstance.
Absolutely, full house backfield. They go to the man in motion, and he gets hit in the backfield. Solid defensive play by 54, Juan Mendoza for the Blue Devils.
And a little help from Jake Frisch, but you're right, Mendoza and Frisch, great pursuit here. They break through the line, and they take down Kyle Hannon. Great tackle for a loss.
Frisch pounding through there, as you mentioned too, Don. That brings up a third down and 10. That's right. No, it was a loss because it was 2nd and 9. Now it'll be about a 3rd and about 9 for Harrison.
Will they try their first pass play of the game, Jim?
That's right. Colas behind center. I formation. Arcara is the deep back. Rogliano the up back. Play action. Here it is. Colas rolling right, looking, throwing. Got a man, and he goes short. He had a man out there. Angelo Del Borgo throws it short. Jenks on the coverage.
He had time in the pocket. Just a poor throw right there from Peter Kolash. Let's take a look. He drops back, attempting their first pass of the game. He does have time. He's got a man open. He just simply underthrows him here.
He did have him open.
And a good tip on the play by Steve Tronovich.
Do you think Tronovich got a hold of that?
Tronovich did make a play on it.
Well, yeah, Mike, if you can save that and just run that again, we'll see if Tronovich actually tipped it. If he did, he saved the play because there was a man wide open. Huskies to punt now. The boot by Kolash.
He fumbled it.
Bobbled by Murabito, and he covers up at the 19-yard line, so a nice job by Kolash punting it away. One more look at the defensive play by Tronovich, on the third down, one of the captains. Let's see if he gets a piece of it. He's 24 at the bottom left hand.
Tronovich is dropping back in coverage here. He's watching the eyes of the quarterback, and he does deflect this. He did
nice
get a hand
job, Don. He did. Great call by
But a great punt there by Harrison. They pinned the Blue Devils back inside their own 20 here, Jim.
The worst field position thus far for the Blue Devils, who have gone down the field with relative ease in the first half. 10:22 remaining in the third quarter of this Class B championship game from Syracuse. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown. First possession of the second half for the Blue Devils from Chenango Forks. They give it right back to their big man, Jenks. Kelsey Jenks. Solid first half. What numbers do we have on Jenks? I know you mentioned it.
Jenks had a solid first half, running 87 yards on 14 carries. Again, the no-nonsense approach there. Just straightforward surge up the middle for a gain of about 3, Jim.
Bring up a 2nd and 7 now. They need to get to the 30. Again, a good punt by Kolash has pinned them back. They have to go the full 80. Fake. This is the option again. They go outside. Murabito over the 30, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 32, and they're going to get a face mask on this one. Good tackle by Hannon, but he got a little bit of the face mask. It is a first down for the Blue Devils. Let's see if Chenango Forks gets it 15 or an extra 5 on this one.
We saw a lot of this in the first half. Jim Jariga rolling out to his right on the option pitch to Murabito, and he turned it upfield for a nice gain, and then some, awaiting the penalty here.
So it's been Murabito to the outside, Jenks in between the tackles. Jenks with a huge 44-yard gainer down to the 2, setting up the second touchdown for Chenango Forks. Chenango Forks took the early lead in this one in the opening kickoff. They got a pass.
This seems to be of the 15-yard variety.
Yep.
Costly penalty against the Harrison Huskies here.
12-yard pass to Batty from Jariga, made it in the back of the end zone, made it 7-0. And then the long run, the 44-yard run by Jenks, setting up the 2-yard run to make it 14-0. And then to end up the half, as Don said, probably the biggest play of this game, Murabito, 20 yards for the touchdown, 21 points for Chenango Forks. Good solid tackle that time by number 66 on the quarterback, Nick Pinella, for Harrison. And for the Huskies, Don, as we take a look at this play one more time.
Huskies, good pursuit here. Jariga's such a big, strong body at 6'3". He's surging forward to gain 2 or 3 yards out of nothing. He's hit at the line. That's all strength on the part of their big quarterback, Matt Jariga.
Kyle Hannon had a 34-yard run unofficially for the Harrison High School, for the Harrison Huskies. I want to get that the official one on Hannon's run, and then the interception for the other touchdown. That's the scoring. And now the ball is loose, and Jariga wisely dives on it.
Tremendous hit by Nick Pinella there, Jim. Right at the line, jarred the ball loose. Solid tackle. Let's take a look at it.
He broke that up. Nice job. You're right.
It looked like to be a fake handoff to Jenks, and the ball came loose, but a solid defensive play nonetheless by Nick Pinella.
Officially, the Hannon run was 33 yards, and the Burton interception was 55. So that's the scoring.
This brings up another third down. We touched on it. 8 for 9 in the first half. Let's see what happens here for the Chenango Valley Blue Devils.
From the midfield stripe, they need to get to the 42. Straight drop on the play action. Jariga over the right side, way high, tipped up and incomplete. Nearly picked off there by number 3, Kyle Haddon. Great coverage on that one, and the pass was intended for Murabito.
Yes, well, we'll take a look at it shortly here. Jariga drops back. He's going to his favorite target right now, Nick Murabito. This one kind of floats in the air a little too long, almost intercepted, and it'll bring up the first punting situation of the ball game for the Blue Devils.
That's right. Here's the lonely man right here. Tronovich plays defense as well. Punts it away, and a beauty who's resting that leg, and he gets it down inside the 10. Let's see if they can cover it. No, they roll it in the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. Nice try there. Who gave it a shot? Number 25, Drew Batty. He was the man who caught the first pass of the game to set up Matt Juriga on this solid day for the senior. So, good job by Harrison. They'll get the ball at the 20, and let's see if they can do it on this second series in the second half.
And it does mean a lot that that was a touchback. Had Chenango pinned him down at the 1-yard line, Jim, asking this offense to go 99 yards of time-consuming, that would not be very good for Harrison. So that was a nice little break that was a touchback.
And again, I ask you, and we don't watch these teams as much as most, but I ask you, in this situation, you're not getting much yards on the ground. Rugliano is your leading rusher. Arcara's hurt. Do you use Kolash here to try to throw the football down the field on this drive, Don?
I gotta believe they're gonna try that. But we're first gonna hand it off to
Arcara. Trying to dance his way. He does get 4, and equals his output of the first half on that single run right there. 2nd and 6 coming up now for Harrison. So number 1, Rudy Arcara, 220 yards last week, has had an incredible season.
His knee is heavily taped, Jim. You can see he's just really struggling to walk. He's walking gingerly, and asking him to carry the workload in the second half. Not sure that's the way Harrison wants to approach the second half.
See how it unfolds. Nearly 5 on the carry. 2nd down and 5.5 now for the Huskies. 1 man in motion. They're going to run the option. Kolash reverses field, looking for the sideline. He's got the 30. He's got the first down to the 32-yard line. Nice run that time by number 6, Peter Kolash, the quarterback.
Yeah, Kolash. It was a needed first down in that situation. Looked like a broken play. He's rolling right, sees there's nothing there, and cuts it back left. Avoids a tackle, and just simply outruns the big lineman, number 49, Zach Tarnowski of the Forks. But an important first down pickup by Peter Kolash.
I believe it is Zarnowski who is down. So let's take a break with 7:15 remaining here in the third quarter. You see Harrison trails by 9. They've got the football, and they are seeking a Class B championship. Come on back. One more look at this, Don, as Zach Tarnowski is the injured player. He's number 49 on the left side of your screen. Watch him. He's going to cut back to try to get Kolash, and he dives out here and somehow injures his ankle right there.
That'll be a tough loss for the Chenango Forks defense. He had 3 big tackles in the first half, and hopefully he'll be okay to come back in, Jim.
So Tarnowski, one of the captains, along with Jenks and Tronovich for this Blue Devil football team, 2002 version, undefeated since their loss last year to Peru right here in the Carrier Dome 1 year ago. They're seeking a title. Arcara now and the Harrison Huskies trying to grab the title away from them. 2-yard game on that one. And now they're starting to use Arcara, injury or not. They're going to the big guy and trying to break one.
Yes, like I said, he's a valiant effort to be out here. He's a senior, he's a captain, he's working hard, and his team needs him.
No question. If nothing else, they could use him as a decoy. As we take a look at the Harrison Huskies marching band, who entertained us all at halftime, trying to pump up the crowd. Harrison fans on the other side of the field, and we've got a sea of blue and red below us for Chenango Forks. 2nd down and 7. They'll go to the right side. Rugliano. This play worked big time in the first half. This time, spinning. Rugliano still on his feet, breaking tackles inside the 48 to the 45-yard line. It looked like he was stopped, but he spun out of 3 tackles, Don, and he picks up another Harrison first down into Blue Devil territory.
Luigi Rugliano here. Doesn't look like he's got much here. He goes to the outside. He's picking his block here. Waits for a block, breaks and a tackle right there, and just exceeds, it powers upfield for a tremendous gain on the play.
Juriga tried to grab him up by the shoulder pads. Got to get him low, especially a good solid runner like that. And Rugliano really answering the bell with the injury to Arcara. That play has worked 3 of the 4 times they have run it for big yardage. Second drive of the game, of the second half for Harrison now. Here comes Kolash on the fake. Kolash into the secondary, to the 20, to the 10. No flags. That's a touchdown, Harrison.
Wow, Peter Kolash. The Harrison Huskies are back in the mix for the Class B state championship. What a touchdown scramble, Jim. Let's see it again.
Doing it all. He got out in the secondary, Don, and what a run.
He's going option left, follows his block, and just cuts it upfield. He showed his speed there. Peter Kolash in the Carrier Dome just outrunning the defenders into the end zone. What a touchdown run. Harrison back in the ball game, Jim.
Now more chaos on the extra point for Harrison as they're having problems with substitutions, but their crowd is loving it. 21-18 now. They're going to go for the extra point. This is very smart. Don't go for the 2 early here. Get down by the 4. They're going to go for the extra point. Kolash now. There's the kick. Ball is up, and it is good. So this time they get all 7. And just like that, with 5 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in this third quarter, the Blue Devils dominate the first half. As you mentioned, Don, only up by 9, find themselves now only up by a field goal.
Jim, let's take another look at this tremendous touchdown run. 43 yards. Peter Kolash going off the left side. What a run. What a thrill. Class B championship game to have a touchdown run like that.
The story of this game is Harrison's had the big plays, long, steady drives by the Blue Devils, but the interception for 55 yards in the first half by Burton, and now this huge run unofficially for 47 yards for Kolash.
And the big thing there, that drive took nearly 7 minutes, 80 yards. It gave the Harrison defense a chance to rest, and now to come out fired up.
Absolutely, and I was remiss. It is only a 2-point game at 21-19. Got to check my math. And now Kyle Hannon to kick off. And a lot of these guys play both ways, but it's always much more tiring fending off blocks than it is laying them out. So that is a huge break, as Don mentioned. Kick back to the 10. It's going to be Marabito to the outside. Marabito to the 32, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Good coverage there by number 33 for Harrison, Matt Cipolla.
Nick Marabito, solid return out to the 31. You can tell he's got the jets inside his feet. He's ready to go.
Officials mark it at the 34, where the Blue Devils will take over for the second time in the half. They punted for the first time, so a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence for the Harrison defense. They stop the Blue Devils, stop them on that key third down that they got 8 of 9 in the first half. They get the football back and go 80 long yards for the score. They go right back to Jenks to the Blue Devils, and Jenks powers to the 40, and he gets a good 5 yards before he's pushed back by number 44, Jason Colabella.
Power football from Chenango here. They hand it off to the big Jenks, and he just lowers his shoulder, Jim. Picks up 6 yards. Nice gain, 6 yards on first down.
Dragging the big boy there, number 66. Pinella, Nick Pinella, who has laid out some guys in this one. This time, Jenks carrying him across for a good gain. We have a second down and a short 4, so let's see if this is a passing down. Great first half passing for Chenango. They hand it off though to Jenks, who cuts up inside the tackles for a first down to the 47-yard line. Excellent run by Jenks. He's brought down by Rugliano.
Yeah, Chenango's, I think they're a little bit stunned. They just gave up the big touchdown run to Kolash, but they're just coming out, running their game plan up the middle. Kelsey Jenks, again, first down for the Blue Devils.
Chenango setting up the pass with the run in between the tackles and the option play. They're on the right hash mark now. A 1st and 10. Full house backfield for the Blue Devils. And a fumble and a snap. And grabbing it quickly is the quarterback, Juriga, back to the 45, and he's slow to get up, Don. Another fumble snap, the second one of this half.
Yes, Josh Haynes making a nice play there. Tackling it. He almost made the recovery there. But you're right, they're having a little trouble with center exchange. But Juriga makes the smart cover up and falls on the football.
Josh Haynes now is starting to flex his muscles. He made that great play on the end around to stop the play and busts up that one right there. So good defensive play out of Haynes and Harrison right now. Back at their own 45, bringing up a 2nd and 12 for the Blue Devils. They run the end around and to the 50, and tackled at the 46-yard line goes Steve Tronovich.
And they go in motion here with Tronovich. They give him the handoff. He cuts up the left-hand side, makes a real solid move to the outside. He's outrunning the speedy Rogliano there and gets a needed 10-yard gain there, bringing up a 3rd and short.
Hannon also in on the stop. And now another 3rd down for Chenango. They have done an excellent job in this game, 8 for 10. They were stopped last time, though, and the Harrison defense settling in, 3rd down and 3. Handoff, Jenks, and a great job in the middle of the Harrison defense as they stop the big back for a 2-yard loss. number 74 on the stop.
Ryan Lambiase shaking things up right here with a needed stop on third down. Let's take a look at it. The handoff, Lambiase was not fooled one bit. He wrapped up Jenks and drove him into the ground.
Haynes also there on the tackle, helped out by number 20, Alvarado. And the Harrison Huskies now, 2 stops on 2 drives after not able to stop the great offense of Chenango in the first half, despite the interception. Another high, beautiful punt. This time, fair catch called at the 15-yard line. So now you get the feeling that the ebb and flow of this game is swinging the other way. And if the Huskies can bring it down here and take the lead, you wonder what they're thinking on the other end. Now, was there any adjustments you think done by Coach Troilov and his staff? Obviously, the results are yes.
Yeah, they're breaking through right at the line of scrimmage, disrupting that whole fake handoff sequence to Jenks. They're taking him out, and they're wrapping up and doing a nice job on Jariga as well.
Really changing things up and making a difference. And now back at their own 15 come the Huskies, and they're getting a hand from the Chenango Forks faithful here right below us. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Class B title on the line from the Syracuse Carrier Dome. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown, and this is MJM Productions. Bringing you this game, and it's Arcara fumbles! Arcara fumbles, and the Blue Devils have it! With the recovery.
This is a key play in the game, Jim. I'm not sure Arcara ever had the football. Let's see. He does have it there. Loses it right there after making a couple yards. Big turnover. We talked about it. Turnovers is going to be the key to this game. And that was a big one right there.
Big Jake Fritsch jumps on it. 6'3", 248 senior. He outbattles Arcara for the ball. 1st and 10 from the 17. Jenks now over center, and he's spun down by Arcara. Good play by the man who's injured, Rudy Arcara, but he comes back for a nice play there.
Yeah, nice tackle by Rocky Alvarado there, holding Jenks to a 2-yard gain. They need to come up big defensively right here, Jim. Harrison must stop them.
As Yogi said, it's getting late early. Plenty of time remaining, though. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third, then they've got the 12 of the fourth. But this is a big turnover in this game. Each team with one run back for a touchdown, and we'll see what the result of this one is. 2nd and 8 now. They go back to Jenks over the right side. Jenks dragged down the 11. Another great play by number 11, Steve Burton. Arcara and Burton really broke that play up, Don. Let's see how it looked.
Geez, they give the handoff here to Jenks. He looks like he's got some open field running. He cuts to the outside, but there he is on one leg. Rudy Arcara making a big tackle.
Absolutely, and Burton again in on the play. He is a tough nut on defense. So Jenks twice now for 6. They need 4 for the first. They lead by 2. Here they come, the Blue Devils, Chenango Forks, undefeated #1 in the state, in the red zone. They give it to Jenks over the left side to the 5, and he's in, but there is a flag down. Patton was dragged down, and it might have been a holding penalty against Drew Batty.
I think that's going to negate. I think that's coming back, Jim. It was a great touchdown run by Jenks, but I think it's coming back.
Wow. Well, I don't know if we have this.
The Blue Devil faithful do not like this call.
And instead of 6, it's coming back 10. And they take the points off the board. I don't know what the discussion is. They're not going to decline this one. And now Coach Green talking to his quarterback, trying to figure out this 2nd and goal play.
I think the holding took place inside the 10-yard line, Jim. I'm not sure it was a necessary hold. He had gotten to the outside. Let's take a look.
I think it was 24 with the hold. Let's see. And no, it's 25. It was Hannon dragged down. He might have needed that hold, but it was a drag down.
Batty on the 10-yard holding call. And now we've got 3rd down and 7 yards, so they may be going to the airwaves here.
Well, they need to get to the 8. They've got the ball at the 16, so let's call it a 3rd and 8. They can get the first down. 1 man in the backfield for the Blue Devils. Play action. Jariga in trouble, and he is trapped with a sack at the 23-yard line. Sacked in the backfield by number 66.
Nick Piniella again.
Wow.
Nick Piniella all over the backfield. He is a disruptive force, and what a stop on 3rd down. Bringing up a 4th and long situation.
The Huskies needed that, and I tell you, I think the Blue Devils are going to go for it, and I wouldn't blame them. Right here, take a look, and an excellent job on the outside by Ryan Lambiase, number 74, for making the Jeringa come inside. So Jeringa cannot pick up the first down, and they will call a timeout, and Coach Green will discuss things with his football team. That is the first timeout taken by the Blue Devils. 1:02 remaining in the third quarter. A big 4th down coming up for both these football teams. You don't want to miss the end of this one. 21-19 is our score in this Class B title game from the Syracuse Carrier Dome. Come on back. All right, a big 4th down coming up. Don, what do you think?
Well, I know they're going to go up top here. He's going to drop back in the pocket. He's going to look for one of his 2 favorite targets, number 6, Tim Batty, or out of the backfield, Nick Marabito.
One man in the backfield. Here we go. A 4th down and about 15. Jerigo throws. He's going for it all. Can he catch it? No. They say no. Incomplete. And Harrison holds.
Wow, what a call in the corner of the end zone. Tim Batty makes a tremendous catch. Didn't get his feet down, but he may have been forced out of bounds, Jim. What do you think? Let's take a look.
His brother, if it is his brother, Drew Batty, saying he was forced out of bounds, but that was awful close.
Let's take a look. He goes up, makes the catch.
You know, you could have made an argument that he was definitely out of bounds, but was he pushed out of bounds by number 42?
We're trying to get a look at his feet. He leaves inbounds, makes the catch. That is a game-changing call right there. And it needed one for the Harrison Huskies.
I didn't see his feet, but it looked like from the angle he would have been in if he was not pushed by Del Borgo, so you have an argument there. It would not have been a touchdown, but he would have been out at the 1. It would have been 1st and goal from there, but instead, the Huskies hold. 1st and 10 at the 24. Over the left side, they fake it. Kolas is dragged out of the backfield. Dragged down by Tarnowski. He's back in the game.
Tarnowski is back in the game, and what a play that was.
There he is at the bottom of your screen. He's not fooled at all, Don.
Dragging down Peter Kolas from behind. Great play. That's his 6th tackle for the day.
That is an excellent, excellent tackle.
There's a lot of ruckus going on the sidelines. Chenango Forks still upset about that call on 4th down, Jim.
Well, they got to get ready for defense now. Kolas getting signals from his coaching staff, and Coach Green having a long discussion with the referee, Dave Bovey. Still talking about it. 43 seconds remaining.
In that situation, the receiver needs to go up and come down with 1 foot, or if he's forced out, he gets the call. So that Coach Green may have a reasonable beef here.
Yeah, again, we don't see the feet on that replay, but I tell you, from the angle right before it cut, it looked as though that he would have come in on bounds. Nice play. Listen, you can't fault Del Borgo. He's just trying to break it up. Pushed him. The call. As they saw it, he came out of bounds. One more look. It looks like, you know, it may not have. His right leg was not going to be in bounds. It was going to be his left one. He might have been out. So let's give the officials the benefit of the doubt. 2nd down and 12 now. For Harrison, and they fumble. Kolas gets it back, though, and now they say his knee was down.
His knee was down, Jim. But you know what that call has done? It has fired up the Blue Devil faithful. Everyone is standing inside the Carrier Dome. They brought about 5,000, 6,000 people up from the Binghamton area, Chenango, and they are fired up.
Great call that time by the officials. His knee was definitely down when he picked it up, and in high school, that's all there is. Another loss. So now they have to get it out to the 34-yard line, and that'll do it. 3 quarters in the books, and the Chenango Forks Blue Devils have waited 1 year and 3 quarters. They got 12 minutes to wait. Can they hang on with a 2-point lead, or do the Harrison Huskies rip it away from them? Come on back for the answer right after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome here in Syracuse. The Harrison band and faithful trying to cheer their team on. They're looking at 3rd and 14 with a quarterback in Peter Kolas, who has yet to complete a pass in this football game, Don.
Well, he made the play via his feet the last time, running over 60 yards for the touchdown. He's going to need to use his arm here, Jim.
Trips right for Harrison on this 3rd and 14, deep in their own territory. Under the gun, Kolas running, throwing. He's got a man. He's got a man at the 30, over the 30 to the 33. He's going to be short of the 1st down. Del Borgo, who made the big defensive play in the corner, is dragged down short of the 1st down.
But what a throw by Kolas here.
A great throw by Kolas and a tackle.
Almost a hold. No call there is made. Pete Kolas steps in the pocket. Great catch by Angelo DeBorgo. And he's just shy of the 1st down, Jim, by about a yard.
Jeriga there. along with Mendoza, number 54, saving that first down. And how about Coach Troilo Jr.? The state title on the line. The ball sitting at his own 33.5-yard line in the fourth quarter with 11:15 remaining, and he is going to go for it on fourth down. Here they come. I formation. Arcara deep. They pitch it. He's going to punt it out of this formation, and it's going to drop all the way to the 30, to the 20. What a call by Coach Troilo. And it's down at the 14-yard line.
What a smart call by the coach. Our Troilo's going to look back to that play that may have won him the State B Class Championship. Let's see how it all unfolds.
Well, I'll tell you, field position is so huge in these games, and on that play, it looked all the world like they were going to go, but they put Arcara deep. He's not their regular punter, but he quick kicked it, and it was a beauty. Nobody back for the Blue Devils. They're expecting defense now. I cannot remember. We did 5 games last week. I can't remember. But I know somebody did this last week, and it would be amazing, because I'm sure they got the tape, if Coach Green and Chenango Forks did not know that that was coming, because somebody did it last week. But again, I might be remiss.
And how about Rudy Arcara? Bad knee and all, making a tremendous quick kick there.
Absolutely. And now from deep in their own territory, here comes Chenango Forks. They give it to Jenks, and he has not had the yardage or the success that he had in the first half, and he gets pushed back. Burton is there, along with the big guy, number 70, Weiniger.
And they're gang tackling. Let's take a look at the handoff to Jenks on the left-hand side. He's looking for running room, but a whole slew of Huskies are there to surround him and bring him down for a short gain.
Del Borgo, Ricky Alvarado. What a great job by Harrison's defense in this second half. They are pitching a second-half shutout after getting beat almost every drive of Chenango Forks' first half. 3 of 4 times Chenango Forks had the ball in the first half. They scored 3 touchdowns and have not scored since. Fake, they go. Jariga now. They're trying anything to keep it alive. They get it out to the 21-yard line, or 22 we'll call it, and they'll bring up a big 3rd and 2. And this is a, maybe they're going to mark it at the 22, so it's going to be a 3rd down and a long one, Don.
But again, Jariga is able to fight for just that extra 1 or 2 additional yards. He's hard to bring down. In this case, I look for Jenks to power football down for the first down. Let's see what happens.
All right, they've got the big fullback. He's been very, very successful. Much more successful in the first half at 87 yards. Here in the second half, not as much. And, of course, they got the big kid, Matt Jariga. Full house backfield now, pro set. And it's Jenks, and he's got it to the 25-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down, and a big first down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, very big first down. We talked about their conversion percentage in the first half, 8 for 9. They haven't had that kind of success yet this half, but right there, Kelsey Jenks gets it done.
9:20 remaining here in this Class B title game. Jim Champion along with Don Brown, the entire MJM staff, as we bring you this New York State Championship game, Class B. New York State Public High School Athletic Association sponsors, along with MJM Productions, bringing you this telecast. The Harrison Huskies at 11-1, number 2 in the state, from Section 1 against the Blue Devils, Section 4, number 1 in the state. They go up the gut. This time to Jenks again, a gain of 2.
Power football, just as we said earlier. It's ball security at this point. They're maintaining the 2-point lead. They're trying to milk the clock, Jim, and they're sitting 8:45 away from the cherished Class B championship.
Great job of coaching by Coach Green and Coach Troilo and his staff. The first series for both these teams resulted in touchdowns. Since then, it's been a game of attrition. It looked like Chenango Forks is going to run Harrison out of this building. They were only up by 9. They're now only up by 2, and it's been really, since then, a game of attrition. They fake the handoff to Riga in all kinds of trouble. How the heck did he get out of that? But he does up to the 33-yard line. Nice job by Jariga.
That play looked like it was going to go for a loss. It looked like it was another great defensive play by Pinella to start with, but Jariga turns it upfield and turns a negative into a positive again.
Another 3rd and a short 2, but what a play by Pinella. He has been blowing up these plays. I think that was supposed to be a handoff to Jenks, and he just couldn't get the ball to him because Pinella was pounding over center, breaking up the play.
He's having the game of his life defensively, Pinella. We like this boy.
3rd down again for the Blue Devils, but it's a short 1.5. They go back to Jenks. Jenks dragging men over the 35 to the 36, and another first down for the Blue Devils.
That's why this kid may be the Class B New York State Player of the Year. Simply so powerful. Let's take a look. They give him the ball. He's going off the left-hand side, gets a block, and just surges forward for an important first down.
Rugliano and Haynes on the tackle, but not before another first down for Jenks. The clock continues to tick away the Harrison Huskies season. 7:25 remaining in the final quarter. The Blue Devils, these first downs as important as any of the ones that they've gotten throughout the game. Juriga now over the 40 to the 43-yard line. He takes an absolute pop.
Rudy Arcaro with a solid hit there.
It's like Colabella, number 44 there, also with the hit. But Juriga pops right back up and gets back into the huddle. A solid gain of 5.
Their first down production's been excellent all day, Jim. These second and short down situations typically leads to Jenks power football running in the situation. And the clock, again, is still ticking.
4.5 yards to go for another first down. Harrison's defense pinned him back on the great fake kick. But perhaps now, Coach Troilo would take that back and take the ball. Let's see. Jenks over the left side, gets some blocking, powers to the 48, and another first down for Kelsey Jenks. He is piling up the yardage now, Don, in crunch time for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, he's well over 100 yards, but more importantly, he gets the first down. He loves to go off the left side, lowers the shoulder, and again fights for an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Andrew Weiniger, number 70, with the tackle, but again, not before another first down. Clock continues to rock and roll.
This recipe is handoff, Jenks, ball security, clock is running. They're 6 minutes away from the crown, Jim.
Right now, if they don't score or do anything else, they can punt to Harrison deep, and they've done their job, have the Chenango Forks offense. And now they run a sweep, and Jenks powering over the 45 to the 46-yard line. A gain of 7 on first down this time. Tackled by Rugliano, but is now the Kelsey Jenks show, and the senior is doing it all.
Right up the gut. They're wearing down the Harrison defensive line.
6'1".
Second and short coming up.
Sorry, 6'1", 229, Johnny. You mentioned it in the pregame. 229 pounds for a running back at this level or any level. That is bulky.
Well, and he could be going to the next level, Jim, because he's got the size and the power. Let's see what happens here.
Second down now, and they call it 3 from just inside the 45-yard line of Harrison. They fake the handoff. Juriga keeps it inside the 40. A flag is down. Juriga to the 32. But this could be a huge call because, Don, if this is holding, not only does it stop the clock, it's going to negate the first down. This could be a 20-yard loss for the Blue Devils, and it will be their third holding call of the game.
Wow, important flag for Harrison. Juriga doing a tremendous job getting yardage upfield, but a late flag comes in, and this is just what Harrison needed, Jim.
It's true. If they can't stop them, perhaps penalties can. Blue Devil fans, as usual, don't like any of it. But instead of a 2nd and 20, as we said, it's at the point of the foul. Let's see if we can see it here, Don. It looked like maybe somebody got number 20's jersey. Ricky Alvarado.
Tough call again for Chenango. They've been on the wrong side of all the key calls thus far, but they will overcome is their motto. Let's see what happens.
They lead by 2. 4:50 remaining in the fourth. It's a 2nd down and 12 now. And now movement. It's going to cost them another 5, and the referees are helping out the Harrison Husky cause here.
Well, yes, and there it was just a simple mistake, a little movement, bringing up a long 2nd and 18. Now, they love to just power Jenks, but in this situation, with the game on the line, they may go to the airwaves here. We'll see what happens.
Well, now, Forks, as they like to call themselves, you see it there on the jersey, shooting themselves in the proverbial foot. They have to get to the 42, and they're sitting at their own 41. So you figure the math. It's going to be a 2nd down and 21, I think, at that juncture. And it's going to be tough going to be able to run in between the tackles. But
it's a catch-22. Do they run, continue the clock, or do they throw and try to get this needed first down?
Let's see if they run the option out of this. They're going to run the option out of this. Juriga pitches. Oh, man, was that gutsy to the 42. Good hard hits back there by Rugliano and Del Borgo, but boy, that could have been a disaster.
Well, Batty makes a tremendous catch on the pitch here because this looked like it could have very well been a game-changing fumble. The pitch is low, and Batty makes a tremendous reach and catch, so the yardage wasn't the key thing there. It was the ball security. Bringing up a long 3rd down, but an important catch on the pitch from Batty.
That may be the biggest play of the game for any football player on Chenango Forks, because if he drops that, Del Borgo picks it up and he could still be running, and what a change that would have been. Well, the penalties have hurt, certainly. Chenango Forks for the third in a country mile. They're going to throw, and this is going. Got it! Oh, he had him. I thought that was going out of bounds. What a great pass. They hit Marabido on the 2 and the 1, but he can't hang on. He gets hit hard out there, but it's incomplete. Nice pass by Dorigo.
Yeah, great pass, right in stride, right in the arms of Nick Marabido, but there's a defensive play. Just gets his hand in there. Number 44, Jason Colabella, got his hand just enough to disrupt the pass.
Excellent defensive play by Colabella, and the penalties end up fighting the Blue Devils. They have to punt it away now. Taranovich to punt at his own 30. They try to block it. They only put one man back, but this is going to be a very short kick. Let's see where they mark it.
On the 32, I think.
32-yard line. So that penalty, it would have been 1st and 10 from the 35. They moved it back. Good defensive plays by Harrison. So what a break for the Huskies.
Yeah.
They're going to get the ball right where they would have had it anyway.
Well, let's talk about it. They need 3 points for the win. They need a field goal. Peter Kolas doesn't like to throw the ball that much, but he does use his feet well. All their timeouts left, 3:32. I look for them just to run their offense.
They got plenty of time, and all their timeouts, as Don mentioned. Jim Campion along with Donald Brown. We are from the Syracuse Carrier Dome. Class B 2002 title on the line. Chenango Forks has been here before and gone away a loser. Harrison, the first shot. Let's see what they do. Up the middle. Arcaro breaks the tackle. Arcaro in the secondary. Cuts to the 50. Dragged out at the 46-yard line. Rudy Arcaro with an injury and all. What a run.
What a run by Rudy. Over 20 yards on the play, Jim. 22-yard run on one leg. He's doing it all for his team. Rudy Arcaro gutting it out in the this is for the State B championship. He's going on sheer energy at this point.
How about Peter Kolash, the quarterback out there blocking on that play? 1st and 10 inside Blue Devil territory. Here come the Huskies, down by 2 from the 46. 3 minutes remaining in this championship game. Kolash is hit hard for a 3-yard gain. Oh, what a defensive play by Batty.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Batty. Kolash does a nice job going off tackle here to the left, but Batty wraps him up and brings him down with a hard tackle.
Excellent tackle, because he had a block out there by Rugliano, but Drew Batty, 25, stops the play for only a gain of 3, and Kolash is limping.
Kolash is hurt, wow.
They can't take a timeout, so Peter Kolash, the 2 leaders of this offense, injured. Rudy Arcaro, Peter Kolash. What more can they bring to this game, Don? 2:25 remaining from the 44. Kolash calls signals. Hands off. Rugliano on the sweep. Rugliano, can he break loose? He can't. Juriga's got him for the loss.
Great tackle there by Matt Juriga. Great tackle. And I really got to believe Rugliano's got to be the man in this situation. You got Arcaro stumbling around on one leg, giving it his all. Kolash is hurt. And yet, they're 46 yards away from winning the title, Jim.
It's unbelievable. Official timeout for the shoe being tied. All the timeouts left for Harrison, but they're not taking him, Don. 1:55 remaining. They can't save him. They got an injured quarterback. That could have been a face mask on both players. Look at that.
Yes, yes.
Here we go. Third down and 9. The Harrison Huskies in white.
Everybody is on their feet in the dome, as are we.
Here they go. Handoff. Arcaro, why not? And he gets to the 41. It's going to bring up a big 4th down. And they stop the clock with 1:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. Art Troilo Jr., 17 years as a head coach. And he's got big decisions to make. Obviously, he's got to go. He needs to get to the 36-yard line. He's at the 41. It's 4th and 5 when we come back. The Class B title on the line. Come on back. Back at the Carrier Dome. Let's set it up for you. Class B title on the line. There's 1 minute and 28 seconds left. Forks leads at 21-19 over Harrison. The Huskies have the ball. 2 timeouts. But Don, between them and the end of their 2002 season is 5 yards. What do you do?
Well, I know Coach Troilo here is going to use Peter Kolash in some capacity. Does he roll him out for the pass? Does he use his legs? Does he go with You know, does he give it to Rogliano? Or do they disguise and use their Cara? It's all coming down to this play.
Let's see what they do. Oh, this is why they pay the coaches. Full house backfield. And they'll take a timeout. Smart timeout by Kolash. I know they need it, but this is their season. They don't have to save timeouts. They've got to make sure. It's very tough. A lot of people will say, what were they talking about if they come out? But they came out just like in basketball, looked over the defense, they didn't like what they saw. Kolash takes a timeout. So will we. We'll be back to bring you this 4th and 5 right after this. The Harrison Huskies, 5 yards from the end of their amazing 11-1 season, number 2 in the state. What stands between those 5 yards? The number 1 team in the state, undefeated 12-0 Chenango Forks. 5 yards, 128, away from 1 year of waiting. How does it turn out? Here we go.
One defensive stop does it, Jim. Let's see what the Blue Devils do.
One man in motion. Kolash hands it off. Left side. First down. First down, Harrison to the 30.
Wow.
Number 11, Steve Burton. Who would have thought?
We talked about, was it going to be Arcara? Was it going to be Rogliano? No, Steve Burton making the big play. Big first down and 4th down.
My goodness, Steve Burton. Look at him diving for the extra 2 yards. Incredible extra effort
Now
by
clock
Burton.
management again, 1:15 and counting. It's going to be a big decision whether to throw or run here.
New set of downs, though, from the 30. Harrison down by 2. Over the middle, Burton makes the catch. He's got it at the 14. A first down for the Huskies. A first down for the Huskies. 60 seconds left.
Steve Burton, let's take a look at this. 2 plays in a row with the game on the line. Steve Burton goes up to make the catch. What concentration with the whole season on the line, Jim.
Burton with a 55-yard pickoff in the first half to keep his team in the game. Kolash on the bum leg. Alcara on the bum knee. Now Steve Burton comes out to be the hero. What next? The Blue Devils digging in. They're still leading. 40 seconds left in this football game. The state title on the line. Alcara over left tackle. He's not going to get much, maybe 2. What a defensive stand by the Blue Devils.
Do they use their timeout in this situation?
No, they got to hold it, Don, because they've got a field goal try. Field goal wins it.
The clock is running, Jim, as we're talking here. 23, 22, and there's a player down. And the clock is still running.
Wow, this has got to be it. They got to try one shot in the end zone, or they got to run into the center of the field and call a timeout.
They got to be careful.
10
They got to be
seconds.
careful.
They're going to set it up in the middle of the field. They keep it. Kolash is tackled. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Timeout. Timeout call by Harrison. 2 seconds remaining in this football game.
What a football game it's been. It's all coming down to the foot of the Harrison Huskies. Let's see.
Unbelievable. The final timeout taken by Coach Troilo. What a job by this Husky team. What an excellent job by the Blue Devils. It's between the goalposts and these final 23 yards. There's the play by Kolash. He keeps it, tackled, and boy, if he ran another 2 yards, he would have had to score.
Yes.
They let him run 2 more yards. There's only 2 seconds left. He would have had to score or the game would have been over.
The game could have ended with him being tackled inside the 5. Wouldn't that have been a turn of events? But right now, Steve Burton, I can't say enough about the 2 plays he made. 4th down, we didn't expect it. He makes the key run. He makes the tremendous catch over the middle. And now, this is what a championship game is all about, Jim.
Coach Troilo pacing back and forth, doing the sign of the cross, trying to get some divine intervention. They're holding their hands on both sides, in blue and red, in white and maroon. This is it. Peter Kolash.
Number 6.
With an injury. This will be a 30-yard try. The holder, Angelo Del Borgo. The snapper, number 52, Joe Referee. The 2002 season for both these teams.
They iced him. They iced him.
You think so? Yep, they're going to ice him.
You got it in this situation.
All right, there's nothing else to discuss, so let's take a break. When we come back, we got ourselves a kick for the title. Hang on. There's the story. Nothing else to be said. 2 seconds remaining in this Class B state title game. Harrison trails. If they kick it through, they are the champions of B. If they don't, Forks is the champions of B. And how about this?
Timeout.
You can't take them with you. So Coach Green decides to freeze them some more. How much more can Kolash wait? What a smart call by Coach Green.
Yes.
As they continue to talk to their charges. and it's simply this, Don. We'll keep it here.
Well, let's talk about Peter Kolash. What seemed like a total domination on behalf of the Blue Devils and Chenango Forks in the first half, that intensity's been matched by Harrison this whole half, and it's been led by their quarterback, Peter Kolash. And here he is, the quarterback, the kicker, with the whole season on the line.
They couldn't make an extra point earlier in the game. The last one he made was good. He missed 1 of 2. They missed the 2-point conversion earlier. That's the difference in this game. They're extra points. So now their special teams, putting them in this hole, have to dig themselves out of it. And on the other side of the coin, Chenango Forks could not be stopped in the first half, Don. They haven't scored a point in 24 minutes.
Amazing. You know what we have to see here, Jim? The holder, Angelo Del Borgo. His job is ultra important. We know Peter Kolash has got to kick it, but the hold has to be clean in this situation.
Absolutely. Here it is for the state title. There's the snap. Ball is down. Kick is up. And it is... It's good! It's good! Harrison wins! Harrison wins!
Unbelievable!
The Huskies have won Class B 2002 championship on a 30-yard field goal by Peter Kolash.
That kick was pure, Jim. I'm excited. What a kick! Chenango Forks are stunned. The faithful are stunned.
Starting at their own 34-2-yard line. They go 68 yards, the Huskies, to glory. They win for Section 1 and the Class B title on the leg of
Here's
this
the kick.
man,
Oh, this was true.
Kolash.
Right down the middle. That'd have been good from at least 40, Jim. What a kick. What a kick under pressure.
He could barely walk at the 45-yard line with 2 minutes left. With only 3 minutes and change remaining in their season, the Harrison Huskies go 68 yards, and for the second straight year, the Blue Devils, oh, you got to feel for them, walk away defeated, but they're not losers. What a great season. They end up 12-1, and for Harrison, they end up 12-1. Number 2 against number 1. What more can you say, Don?
It was an exciting ball game. I see a lot of the faithful are booing the refs as they walk off the field. You cannot blame the game on the officials. The game came down to Peter Kolash's leg. He got the job done.
Mikey, if we can look at it one more time before we go down on the field and talk to the victorious players and Coach Strollo and, of course, Peter Kolash. What guts. He could barely walk on 5 or 6 plays ago, and now he boots Harrison to their 2002 Class B title.
The snap was clean, the hold was good, and the kick was never a doubt. It's party time in Husky land.
Harrison wins it 22-21. They shut out Chenango Forks in the second half, and they earn the Class B 2002 title. Don and I will go down on the field. We'll discuss things over with the players, and we'll have all the final thoughts on this amazing football game right after this. Wins one of the best games you're ever going to see, final game or not. We got players of the game here. We'll get to Rugliano in just a second. Player of the game defensively. Show them what this thing looks like, a state title. Andrew Weiniger, what a game. You guys offensively shut them out in the second half.
You know, we made some changes during halftime in the locker room, and we really didn't come out in the first half fired up like we had in recent weeks. And the coaches did a great job making changes and getting us fired up for the second half, and we did it. And it was a great game, and it could have gone either way, but it feels great right now, and Pete made a great kick.
Yeah, what did it feel like after those 2 timeouts standing there? Well, what were you guys thinking?
I mean, I don't know how I made it through. It felt like it was an hour. I mean, my stomach was churning, and he's done that all season. He was 7 for 7 on field goals. I think this is his 3rd game winner. He's just a clutch kid, and he's a winner.
All right, great job. Congratulations to you. And way to go, man, Luigi Rugliano. You know, this game really came down to attrition in the second half. Your teammate just talked about it. How important was it? You're down 20. You get the 21 points on their first 3 or 4 drives. You get that great pickoff by Burton, but really they were doing a good job. It seemed like you had 1 million tackles in this game. What did you talk about in the second half during halftime?
I mean,
people weren't just staying on their blocks. They weren't coming off blocks and making plays. The coaches got back into it, told us we had to do what we had to do, and we just had to get it done.
Don and I were talking about it throughout the game. You needed to step up because Arcara got hurt early. First of all, what happened to him? What was Rudy's injury, and what were you thinking there?
Tell you honest truth, I don't know what really happened to him. I was thinking about the game, and I mean, he's a one-of-a-kind player. I was horrified that he was hurt. I need him there by my side. He's like my partner in crime.
First of all, I got to ask you about the pickoff. Obviously, you guys are down. You're letting them. They're getting 8 out of 9 third down conversions. They got a big third down. I think they had been 8 for 8 at that point. They're going down the field. They just scored 7 points. You get the big pickoff. Talk about how you played that.
Well, I mean, I saw the tight end release, so I just visualized the whole play, and I saw it come and just picked it off.
It did seem like slow motion because you bobbled it there, and it seemed like you kept your head about it.
Yeah, I got nervous for a second. I started bobbling it, but then I just grabbed it and took off.
All right, they scored 21 points in the first half. You're the defensive standout. I talked about it with Luigi. What did you guys talk about at halftime to try to stop them? Because you shut them out in the second half. Really the story of this game.
Well, Coach told me and Louis, we got to take control of the game. We got to go out there and play the way we should be playing all year. I mean, the first half wasn't us. The second half was us. The first half we played terrible. But we know we weren't making our reads. They did a few things offensively that messed us up a little bit. We went in at halftime. We learned what we had to do and came out and did it.
I know, Don, you have to ask him about those 2 huge plays at the end.
Now the coach calls your number on 4th and 5. You make the first down, and you follow that up with a tremendous game-saving catch over the middle. What were your thoughts about your number being called on 4th down?
Well, it felt great. It felt great, you know. I'm a running back. They gave me the ball. So I know I hadn't got the ball all game. I think that might have been to our advantage. You know, they're keying on Rudy and Luigi. They're two great running backs, and it maybe helped that they saved my carry till the end.
Class B champions for 2002. You're looking at their head coach, Art Troilo Jr., and I don't know where to start on this. Let's start at halftime. You guys have given up 3 touchdowns in 4 possessions. You had the pick, kept you in the game, but I talked to the kids about it. What was your game plan coming out because you shut them out in the second half?
Well, what we did was we went back and we looked at the Section 1 championship last year. We were down against Somers 28-12. We down 16 points at half. We came back and won a game in the end. So we had some, you know, we've been together for a long time. It's a real senior team, and, you know, we've been together for 3 years. This is pretty much the same team for 3 years, and they could, look back and remember a moment that was like this, and, they responded and then came back.
Rudy Arcara is your team leader offensively. He did a great job defensively all season long. He gets hurt on defense in the first series. What did that do to your team? I mean, obviously you responded, but what did that do to your team, and how do you feel about your team responding with one of their best players hurt?
Well, that shows what kind of team we've done that all year long. Whether Rudy was hurt or, Pete was out or somebody was hurt, but we did it all year long. And, I mean, the fact that Pete Kolash, he's 7 for 7 this year kicking field goals, and 2 of them, this is the second time with no timeout. Edgemont, right. So it's a great, it's a great game, and we're real happy. We're going to really enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, craziness that happened throughout. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Peter Kolash. Now, Pete, you're injured on that drive. What happened there?
Well, so I took a shot directly to the knee, and just when I got up, it was a little shaky, but it got better with the next play after.
When you guys got the ball at the 34, I believe it is, for the final drive, 3 and change left. You go in the huddle. You're the quarterback. You're the senior. You're the leader. You got a hurt Rudy in the huddle. What are you telling your football team?
Well, it's really a great team because we got 11 leaders out there, and we knew we could do it. We just needed our defense to hold, and they did. Everyone did their part. We got the ball back. We knew we could do it.
When you were thinking, you kicked it against Edgemont, but now you come out here, the state title on the line. You're losing the game. 30-yard field goal. Tell me what you're thinking before they even take the timeout.
Of course I was nervous. This was our goal at the beginning of the season, and now it was up to me whether or not we were going to achieve it. But I want to be in that position. I love that position. I want to be in a position where I could win the game, and my team put me in that position, and that's why we're here.
Don, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate you on a great victory, but it was your long touchdown run in the second half that really got the momentum swung back in Harrison's favor. Tell us about the long touchdown run.
Well, we know our offense. If we keep plugging away, we're going to get yardage. We got a great line of 3 great backs, and when I run it, it just makes it that much easier, It's like they're keying on Rudy, they're keying on Luigi, and I had a great hole, and I took it.
Now, finally about the kick. Snap goes down, you're looking at the kick. I mean, you're probably going to replay this for the rest of your life, so tell us right now, 5 minutes after you did it, ball's in the air, what's going through Peter Kolash's head?
I'm still in awe. I couldn't believe it. Before the snap, I was just hoping that the snap was there. Got a great snapper, a great holder, and right when I hit it, I knew it was good. Right when it came off my foot, and it's the best feeling I've ever felt in my life.
What are you, 18 years old?
I'm 17.
17 years old. In 17 years, you ever have a thrill like this?
No, this is by far. This was my goal since I was watching Sammy Maldonado and everyone first, second grade. This was my goal. And we said it at the beginning of the season, and it's just great that we came out and got it.
2 underdog victories for you guys. Congratulations in a row.
Thank you.
For Donald Brown, the entire staff here, my name is Jim Campion. Harrison wins it 22-21 over Chenango Forks. They come here for the 2nd straight year and just come a little short, losing 14-7 last year, 22-21 this year. For the entire staff, my name is Jim Campion. This has been the Class B state title game. The Harrison Huskies are the champions of B in New York State. Thanks for watching.